Welcome to the Lee Etzler Show, a weekly wrap-up and analysis of Churubusco High School Football.
Eagles, what is your perspective? Out, out, out.
And now your host, Big Daddy Don Hyatt.
Hi, I'm Don Hyatt, and welcome to Lee Etzler Show. This week we'll talk with the coach about Churubusco's 40-13 win over Fairfield, which gives Busco an 8-0 record for the first time in school history. Also, the coach will be talking about this week's big championship game against the Lakeland Lakers. Also, we'll be joined by senior Alex Zolman. We'll be right back after this.
I'm Coach Doc, this is my wife and daughter, and you're watching the Lee Etzler Show.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received the help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to busconews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. busconews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there. The Lee Etzler Show is brought to you by the United Way of Whitley County, busconews.com, and the Churubusco News.
Welcome back. We're here with Coach Etzler. Coach, great game Friday night, 40-13 win over Fairfield. You came out, you jumped on them early first quarter, got a 21-7 lead on them.
Yeah, and that was extremely important to be able to move the ball early, and I think we scored on our first 3 drives, and they had defended us a little bit differently than what they had in years past, and you know, our kids adjusted pretty well and you know, played hard, and you know, they do have dangerous athletes on the offensive side of the ball, so whenever that's the case, it's just extremely important that you have success on offense and keep moving the ball. So it was nice to see right out of the gate, you know, get a defensive stop and then scored on our first 3 offensive possessions. So pretty important to the outcome of the game.
Also, you give them a different look. You threw a few more passing situations in there.
Yeah, they were pretty committed to stopping what we do, running the ball, and leaving some things open in the passing game. So you know, did a pretty good job of utilizing that. Alex Zolman played a very good game at the quarterback position, and you know, it was nice to see that. You know, they were giving us some issues in the running game, and it was nice to loosen them up a little bit with the passing game.
Again, another solid job with your defense. Who do you feel stuck out this week on the defensive side?
Josh Lefevre played another great game, and you know, definitely some of the bigger hits of the night were from Josh. Physical play is extremely, you know, we preach that a lot, and it's extremely important in the game. Well, you have a couple big hits, and Josh, I think, had 3 real big hits Friday night, and it's something that really energizes your team and gives your team a whole lot of confidence. So thought we asked him to do some different things, lined him up at the safety position at different times, and also played his linebacker position. Shows the versatility of him. You know, we kind of talked about that last week with, you know, or the last few weeks as far as his versatility on the offensive side of the ball. Well, you know, he does a lot of stuff for us on the defensive side of the ball as well. So he played another real good game. Jason Nicodemus is very consistently good for us. You know, week in and week out. Had a couple sacks. a vocal leader. You know, we present and just, you know, something about Jason. Just today we present our kids with the scouting report, and these are our defensive checks, and then we go out on the field to do some conditioning, but we'll go over some checks on the field, and we line up different formations, and you know, he, after learning them for the first time, he's directing you know, the defense to all the checks already for next Friday. So he does a great job, and you know, pretty important to our football team. But those kids stood out.
Coach, you're 8-0 on the season now, and it's the first time you've beat Fairfield in 5 years.
Yeah, nice to get that monkey off our back. You know, for whatever reason, you know, we played some pretty good football games against them in the last 5 years, and of course they have talent over there and have developed a pretty good football program. So nice to finally get that win, and you know, I guess you don't have much of an opportunity to feel good about yourself. You know, you pretty big game this weekend, and so it was fun Friday night, and you know, already thinking next year they have a young team, and it's going to be a heck of a game next year. So we'll have to fight next year against them as well.
Coach, we're going to be joined by Alex Zolman a little bit later today. Your thoughts on him and his season and career here at Busco?
You know, he's a kid. I remember he chose not to play football his freshman year, which was disappointing, and then came back out his sophomore year, and has since then, you know, working to develop a comfort level out here. Last year played cornerback and has been one of the most effective cornerbacks we've had since I've been here. So and put together a pretty good offensive game at the quarterback position last Friday. So you know, the thing about him, he is an extremely gifted athlete. Thought he was pretty comfortable last Friday, threw I don't know what, at least 2 touchdown passes, and had some success running the ball. And you know, like I said earlier, they were taking some things away running the ball and giving us some things in the passing game, and having him be able to take advantage of that is pretty important. So, like I said, great kid, very gifted athlete, and we're glad we had him.
When we come back, we'll be joined by senior Alex Zolman.
We're the Etzlers, and you're watching the Lee Etzler Show!
Awesome.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to busconews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. busconews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there. The Lee Etzler Show is brought to you by the United Way of Whitley County, busconews.com, and the Churubusco News.
Welcome back. We're here with senior Alex Zolman. Alex, great game there Friday night against Fairfield. You guys pulled the game out 40-13. You're 9 for 15 passing, good night pass, 132 yards. A little bit about that.
We throughout the week I worked real hard on reading my keys on offense, on who to throw it to and which one should be open for each play.
Also, you tucked the ball down a couple times and took off. Called plays, or you just couldn't find an open receiver out there?
Yeah, just reading through my keys, like I said, as my #1 receiver, and if he's not open, then go to the next and the next, and then if they're not open, then I tuck it and run.
Alex, your class is one of the first ones to beat Fairfield in a while. How does it feel after Friday night getting a win over them?
Definitely, it's a great feeling. Went into this week knowing how good Fairfield is, how good they've been, and we worked extremely hard. We knew what needed to be done for this Friday.
Also, with that win, it makes you 8-0 in the season. First time that's ever happened in Churubusco football history. What's that make you feel like?
It's pretty special, actually, and but we're looking forward to continuing that streak and defeating Lakeland this Friday.
Alex, with you being a quarterback and a senior, how have you responded to that the leadership role on the team?
Well, going into this year, I knew we lost two fantastic players, Mathewson and Monk, and I knew I needed to come into that role and be a leader and show some positive things to the team and to keep them going.
Alex, what's it been like playing for Coach Etzler and the other coaches your 3 years here at Busco?
It's been a pleasure being a part of a winning program for so many years and just being able to be a part of it and to play at varsity.
As far as future plans, what are you looking forward to college-wise?
Looking for a scholarship in track. My favorite event is long jump. I'm wanting to do that, continue that.
We'd like to thank Senior Alex Zolman for stopping by and talking with us today. We wish him well for the rest of the season throughout the playoffs. Also, we'll be right back with Coach, talk about the championship game against the Lakeland Lakers. We'll be right back after this.
I'm Alex Zolman, and you're watching the Lee Etzler Show.
I lost my job and I needed help with different things like prescriptions and energy assistance and stuff. So I contacted United Way. They was the first ones that I could think of. And I went to the agencies that they gave me a list of and got the assistance that I needed from them. Because I received help from United Way, then I'm volunteering my help out to the community, giving the help that they need.
Hey football fans, do you want to keep track of Churubusco High School football games? Log on to busconews.com every game day and watch up-to-the-minute pregame, halftime, and postgame interviews with head coach Lee Etzler. Stay connected with your computer or on your cell phone. busconews.com. When you can't make it to the game, it's the next best thing to being there. The Lee Etzler Show is brought to you by the United Way of Whitley County, busconews.com, and the Churubusco News.
We're back with Coach. Coach, tough game this week with Lakeland Lakers.
Yeah, this extremely nerve-wracking weekend, breaking down film and trying to come up with a game plan, and it will be, the coaching staff will be nervous all week going into this game, and it's kind of one of those things, what do you mean? We gotta beat another 8-0 team for the conference championship. So you find yourself kind of wanting, well, we wish we had an easy game this week. But honestly, it's kind of what it's all about. The kids have worked pretty hard. 8-0 so far, kind of answered each and every test that's been put before them this year, and you might as well go into a game like this where it means everything for the conference championship and playing against a very good football team.
Sounds like this team here is pretty much almost a mirror image of what the Busco team is. I mean, quick, decent speed, both sides of the ball.
Very, very similar. You look at statistics-wise, from the records down to offensive yards per game, points per game, defensive yards per game, points per game, very, very similar teams. And like I said, I'd rather, I find myself wanting to know what the outcome of the game is going to be at this point in time, but we don't know. We have a lot of work ahead of us going into the week. Our kids are going to be fired up, ready to play, just like their kids will be. So it should be a very good football game in a championship atmosphere.
Coach, we know you don't put much emphasis on the numbers and the records and stuff, but your team's 8-0, and it's first time in school history. What's that mean to your team?
Well, obviously, especially in the thick of things and being faced with a very big football game next week, we don't think a lot about it. But you know, I think so far for this team, doing something like that hasn't been done in the history of our school is pretty significant for a group of kids. We really didn't know what we had going into the year and losing a bunch from last year. So, you know, we talked to the kids earlier in the season about, you know, we kind of had an identity last year, a football identity last year, and you know, when you lose a bunch of kids, you don't really have an identity, and you know, as you play a few games, maybe that emerges a little bit. But the 8-0 thing is definitely something this group of kids can be proud of because it hasn't been done before. You know, the sticky thing is, you know, big game this Friday. You know, we're either going to be 9-0 or 8-1 after it. Well, we've been 8-1 at the end of the regular season for the last 3 years. So 8-0 is nice. How much does it mean if we don't get this win next Friday? Well, probably means a little bit, but at least right now we're telling them it doesn't mean a whole lot if we don't get the win this Friday.
I'd like to thank the coach for stopping by and talking with us today. We wish him well against the Lakeland Lakers this Friday night for the conference championship. You can catch the show every Thursday night on busconews.com. I'm Don Hyatt. We'll see you next week.
This has been the Lee Etzler Show, brought to you every Thursday night at 7:30 by busconews.com.